I wish I could say that it pains me to have to do these type of episodes, but ladies, unfortunately, um, the sisterhood before you did this to you. Okay, so salute to O'Shea, the Duke Jackson. I was watching this episode on his channel about Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa Bryant, inheriting $200 million from Kobe Bryant's estate. Okay, and the B.G.T.W. Black Girl Tragic Warrior is not happy. So Vanessa Bryant has inherited about $800 million since Kobe passed. So she is very much on her way to becoming a billionaire. Now, black women are mad that these so-called resources are going out of what they call the community to a non-black woman. Even though black women are supposed to be divesting, and leveling up with their struggle brads. But the sisters are so-called screaming bloody murder, saying that Vanessa Bryant's going to have no ties to the black community. Therefore, all of Kobe's resources will benefit communities other than his own. Y'all just realizing that? We tried to tell y'all, but y'all didn't want to listen. But anyway, so which is bullshit to a certain degree. Y'all don't know this woman. Y'all don't know what her philanthropic spirit is like. I'm sure her philanthropy will benefit all kids. But yeah, all of this may be true, but unfortunately, what the issue here is when the best and the brightest of the black community leave to find interracial relationships. That's the issue. You know. Now, is this from an internal self-hate in black men that they're having these interracial relationships, or is it external because of black female fuckery? So y'all trying to say it's internal, or y'all got self-hate. Y'all mama black. Well, if the nigga mama abused him, his sisters abused him, and his girl abused him, you goddamn right if his mama black, his fucking wife ain't gonna be. But y'all don't want to deal with that, do y'all? But I'm here to tell y'all, this is from an external issue from black female fuckery. See, black women were already made men with no sweat equity. Black women don't support black men's ideals. They don't until that black man is successful. At least not the modern day black woman. You feminists, you diary of a mad black women feminists, the ones that say, well, as soon as a black woman hold a black man down, all he do is go get him a Becky once he made it. Okay? Keep believing that shit if you want. That's why 90% of all of these black players that are in these sports leagues all have black wives. But y'all want to take the little exception, the little 10% here and there, and y'all want to make it the rule. And while Vanessa Bryant is inheriting $1 billion from Kobe Bryant's estate, guess what his mother and father have to do? They have to pawn his Hall of Fame paraphernalia. Jesus Christ, they pawn. I got 200 grand. I mean, fuck. Ain't that some shit? So while she's inheriting $1 billion from his estate, the parents have to auction off his paraphernalia to the tune of just $200,000. That's sad. That's the sad part right there. That while she's inheriting $1 billion, his parents are in the poorhouse. Look, I understand. I accept interracial relationships for what they are. It's a free country. But for the most part, the majority of people should not race mix. I'll just leave it at that. Miscegenation is real. Sometimes does more harm than good to the gene pool. But this toxic phenomenon of interracial dating in between black men and black women is getting out of hand. The weaponized manner in which it's being conducted, the Cynthia G's and the Crystal Swirls, you know, and it's a classic case of poking the bear. There was a time black men, the majority, were taking the high road. We were just making content, minding our business, and you know, then you had the rogues like Tommy Sotomayor, but for the most part, dudes was just talking about social issues, making social connections, and creating male content. Then black women came into the sector, dictating and bully pulping, started targeting men and flagging down all our channels. Just about all our channels, when they're flagged down by women. Might get a dude once in a while if you make an episode on him, but mostly the flagging of black male content creators' channels were by women. There's easily 50 female content creators out there whose sole material is who, what, when, where, why, and how I hate black men. And black women can't handle not having control of the complete narrative. With the advent of social media. Now that we have social media, she's not the only one that has a say in things. The black man now can put his 2 cents in things. She doesn't like that. But black women, let's talk. You know, why are these resources leaving the community? And at such an alarming rate and with such toxicity? Why aren't dudes just go ahead marrying somebody and being quiet about it? Why is it such a toxic exchange now? It's okay. It's like the bully syndrome flipped on his head. A lot of brothers are fed up. I'm gonna give you the long form answer, okay? It's a little bit of a tangent. All right, during slavery, bed wenches had more freedom than bed bucks. You represent the bed wench, we represent the bed buck. Women of defeated races will assimilate into the conquering society. The men will be beasts of burden. Women develop Stockholm syndrome, not men. So you have Stockholm syndrome. Black women have always had the freedom to get away with more than the black man. Slave masters feared the black man, but lusted after the black woman. It's a big difference, y'all. Especially their own biracial fair-skinned spawn, like the Lovins. That was a white man suing to marry a black woman. It wouldn't have worked the other way around. But black women, even as white people's domestic workers, always had more access to white people. They were more accepted around white money and white power. You're no threat to white supremacy if you're not in the right state of mind. As long as they know you're going to church praising their white Jesus, you are no threat to white supremacy. As long as they know you will kick your son out of the house for not praising white Jesus, you are no threat to white supremacy. The only black man they liked around them was the Sammy Davis Jr. type, to sketch and fetch it and entertain. The black man business mogul is only a 25, 30-year phenomenon. The Bob Johnsons, the Reginald F. Lewis's, the billionaire Robert Johnsons, the more recent like Magic Johnsons, Michael Jordans, the Jay-Z's and Kanye's. These guys aren't industrial or manufacturing billionaires either, or oil barons. These guys are rich from being entertainers and athletes, making music off clothing lines and sneaker brands. Stephen Fetchit was a millionaire. He was well compensated for his cooling. But young sisters, I'm telling you, you've had 30 years of incorrect upbringing and false culture called feminism, rooted in anti-male hypergamy superiority complexes. Mixed with entitlement and victimhood, all in one fucking package. This shit is crazy. Yes, that's something from anti-male hypergamy superiority complexes, mixed with entitlement and victimhood. It's a sight to behold. Y'all should see it from the outside. You've learned hypergamy feminism while living in an environment void of black male leadership. So your contempt for men is more toxic than your white, Asian, Latina, Arab, and Indian female counterparts who still live in patriarchies. These other women of these other races and these other communities, they still come from patriarchies. So they're more compatible to the needs of most of the men nowadays. So it's a class and a culture thing. It's not some inherent self hate bullshit with black men. It's more of a black an issue with black women as far as self hate goes. You see black women trying to change their appearance, lighten their skin, change their hair. This is not a phenomenon amongst black men. And the only black men that are bleaching their skin are Jamaicans. Those aren't black men with issues. You don't have a rash of American black men trying to bleach their skin. Matter of fact, black men will tell you all day, I'm happy I'm not white. They'll tell you, I wish I had white people's power and influence. But as far as being white, hell no. But you go out here and you ask black women, I'm damn near sure probably over 50% of them, if you would have asked them one point in their life where they wish they were white, they said yes. And I can tell you niggas that unequivocally have never ever said that shit in their life. No. But I bet you more black women are on the fence about if they could have been born white, would they have, than black men are. I bet that. So it's not an internal issue, it's an external one because of the culture. Black woman passes on this hatred for the black situation in her life. She resents her blackness. And this gets pushed on to black kids as well as black men with her insecurities. So these men that you consider lame or boring, they eventually turn into finished products. And you want to skip right to the result. You don't want to go through the journey. This is you black women's issues. And you say it right out your mouth. Why I gotta need to get with a nigga that's working his way up? Why I gotta get with a nigga that's going to, why can't he have it already? Why can't he already be established? I want to meet a man that's already established. And while y'all saying that, these Spanish women and these white women, black women, what the fuck are wrong with y'all? Are y'all stupid? Like I'm rooting for y'all. But these other women, man, they just understand something y'all do not understand. And it's like y'all see you can't go through the wall, but y'all just gonna keep banging into it. I don't get it, man. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Y'all wanna skip right to the end result and don't go through the journey. So called y'all don't wanna be in the gym with a nigga, or in the studio with a nigga, or going out running track and staying and doing shit with a nigga, but y'all wanna reap the rewards of it. And these other women, they at least participate on a more organic level with their man's success. Sorry, white girls is working out. White girls is in the studio, chilling, asking stupid questions. While y'all talking about y'all can't be bothered. I find it amusing that so many black women that have claimed, some of these B.G.T.W.S, so many that have claimed to have divested of the black community is worried about where its resources are going. That's why you hear so many of them that talk about, well, see, that's more resources that's not going to the community. And I agree. I agree. You did this to yourself. I agree. These resources should be in the community. It would make the community stronger. More black people with money that can employ more black people and put them in a position to open their own, and more of a nepotistic relationship between black people, the same way we see Asians have and Indians have and Arabs have and Caucasians to a certain degree have. We need to learn that form of nepotism. But y'all are out here on this toxic femininity shit. Y'all aren't growing up in patriarchal families. Y'all growing up around feminists. Y'all aren't even growing up in matriarchies. Y'all growing up around feminists.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And y'all aren't learning the necessary skills in order for y'all to capture a man like Kobe.